What if I told you that our universe isn't the whole story? Imagine the world you know is like a single, brightly lit room. We've spent all of human history exploring this one room, believing it was the entire house. But now, for the first time, scientists have detected something from outside our room. A faint vibration through the floor, a strange light seeping from a crack under the door. They have found the first real, observable clues that there is something else out there. And the most incredible part? They have a stunning theory about what is on the other side. Now, I want you to take that simple idea and imagine it on the grandest scale possible. What if our entire universe is a house? And what if, right next door to us, separated by a wall that we can never break through, is another house, another universe, a parallel world? We can't see it. We can't travel to it. But what if we can feel it? This isn't just a cool thought experiment. This is a real possibility being explored by scientists who believe they have found evidence, actual, observable evidence, that our universe has a neighbor. Welcome, everyone, to Summary Thought. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most exciting ideas about parallel universes I have ever seen. We're using a scientific paper called Possible Observational Evidence for the Existence of a Parallel Universe by physicist Eugene Occase. What makes this paper truly special is that it brings together two of the biggest mysteries you've ever heard of and looks at them through one breathtaking idea. Here's what we're going to do. First, I'm going to tell you about a giant mystery that's happening out in space. Then, I'm going to tell you about a huge mystery that's happening right here in our own skies. And finally, I'm going to show you how this paper's single, amazing idea, the idea of a neighbor universe, offers a stunning explanation for both of them. This is a scientific detective story, and I promise, by the end of it, you will look at the world in a completely new way. Part 1: The Cosmic River. The first great mystery is happening in deep space. For many years, astronomers have been mapping out the universe. They look at giant clusters of galaxies, huge cities of stars, and they expect them to be moving around randomly, like a crowd of people in a giant city square. Some should be moving left, some right, some towards us, some away. But that's not what they're seeing. Instead, it looks like almost everything out there is being gently carried along in the same direction, like everything is floating in a giant, invisible, slow-moving river. Scientists call this a bulk flow, but thinking of it as a cosmic river is a perfect way to picture it. We don't know where this river is coming from, or where it's going. All we know is that something, somewhere, is pulling on our entire universe. To put it in simpler terms, imagine our whole universe is a giant swimming pool. We thought all the swimmers were just splashing around randomly, but now we've realized the entire body of water in the pool is slowly flowing towards one end. What's causing this mysterious current? It's a huge puzzle. For a long time, no one had a good answer. But hold that thought, because there's another mystery, much closer to home. Part 2: The Impossible Visitors. This is a mystery you've definitely heard about. It's the mystery of UFOs. For decades, people have seen strange things in the sky. But recently, the United States government and military have officially admitted that they are tracking objects that do things that are, by our standards, completely impossible. And right here, I have to stop and be absolutely clear about something, because this is the most important part of our entire story today. The idea that the US military is tracking impossible objects doesn't come from a late-night talk show or a science fiction blog. That statement comes directly from the US government and the peer-reviewed scientific paper we are discussing. What that means is that before this paper that we are discussing now was ever published, it was sent to other anonymous experts in the field. It was put under a microscope. These experts checked the data, they checked the logic, and they gave it their stamp of approval, essentially saying, this is a serious, well-argued scientific proposal that deserves to be discussed. So, when we talk about these impossible visitors, we're talking about a phenomenon the US government has acknowledged, one that a legitimate, peer-reviewed scientific article is now trying to explain. These strange things aren't just blurry lights. These are objects tracked by our most advanced fighter jets and Navy ships. And they do three things that defy all known laws of physics. First, they move in impossible ways. Imagine a car going 500 miles per hour and then instantly making a sharp right-hand turn without slowing down. It's impossible. The car would be ripped to shreds. But these objects do exactly that. They move at incredible speeds and then change direction on a dime. Second, they appear and disappear. They will literally pop into existence in the middle of the sky, show up on our most advanced radar systems, and then, just as suddenly, vanish into thin air. Third, they ignore their environment. They have been seen flying at thousands of miles per hour, then diving straight into the ocean and continuing to move just as fast underwater, without making a splash. Nothing we know how to build can do this. A normal spaceship from another planet, made of metal and gears, would still have to obey the laws of physics. It couldn't do these things. So the mystery is, what are they? Where do they come from? Part 3. The two meanings of parallel universe. First, the TV and movie meaning, what we usually think of. Most of the time, when we hear parallel universe, we think of a completely separate reality. An alternate timeline where you made a different choice, or where history is different. In this popular meaning, the two universes are totally disconnected and cannot interact with each other at all. They are like two different TV channels. Second, the neighbor meaning, what this article means. A giant planet, a giant star, or even a giant black hole would be like a huge bowling ball that someone has placed in the attic of your house. It's massive. It's powerful. But it is still inside your house. It is a part of your reality. The author is not talking about a giant object that exists somewhere inside our own universe. Instead, he is proposing that the thing doing the pulling is a whole other universe. He is using the word parallel in a more literal, geometric sense. He is not talking about alternate timelines. He is talking about a universe that exists spatially next to ours, like a neighbor. This isn't like a bowling ball in your attic. This is like a whole other house built right next to yours. This neighbor universe has its own stars, its own galaxies, and its own planets. It is just as big and just as real as our own universe. It is completely outside our house. It is not part of our reality. The only reason we can feel its pull is because its gravity is so immense that it can leak through the wall between our two universes, just like you can feel the rumble of a train passing by the house next door. It's not just one object pulling on everything, it's an entire other reality, with all of its contents, pulling on our entire reality. Part 4. The astonishing idea. Our universe has a neighbor. So we have these two enormous, seemingly unrelated mysteries, a strange river of galaxies flowing through space, and impossible to explain visitors in our own skies. This is where the paper by Eugene Okes presents its truly radical idea. It suggests that these aren't two separate problems at all. They might be two different symptoms of the same, single, astonishing cause. The paper proposes this simple but profound idea: our universe is not alone. There is another universe, a parallel world, right next to ours. What if we could actually step into a parallel world? Now, let's see how this one idea offers a potential answer to both of our mysteries. First, let's look at the cosmic river. Could this theory explain it? The paper proposes that the answer is yes. Why is everything in our cosmic house slowly sliding to one side? According to this theory, it's because our neighbor's house has gravity. We can't see the other universe, but we can feel its presence. The paper suggests that the faint, gentle pull of this neighbor universe is reaching through the wall and tugging on our entire cosmos. That slow, cosmic river isn't flowing towards some unknown monster. It might just be us, gently drifting towards our cosmic neighbor. It's an elegant and powerful potential explanation for a long-standing cosmic puzzle. But it's how this theory tackles the second mystery, the UFOs, that is truly mind-blowing. What could these impossible visitors be? The paper offers a stunning possibility. They are not solid, physical spaceships at all. Imagine your neighbors in the house next door have found a way to do something amazing. They can't break down the wall, but they've invented a special projector that can shine a hologram through the wall and into your living room. A 3D image of a person, or a dog, or a strange floating ball of light. Now, think about what that hologram in your living room could do. It could move in impossible ways, zipping from one end of the room to the other instantly. It could appear and disappear as your neighbor simply turns the projector on and off. And it could pass right through your aquarium, ignoring the water completely because it's not a solid object. This is the paper's proposed explanation for UFOs. It suggests they are not spaceships from another planet, but are, in effect, cosmic holograms. The beings in our neighbor universe may have figured out how to project things into our world. The objects our pilots are chasing aren't solid craft. They are projections. This would explain why they can do things that seem to break our laws of physics, because they aren't truly bound by the physical rules of our universe to begin with. It's a breathtaking concept that attempts to neatly connect all the clues into one single, coherent story. Part 5. The Cosmic Ballet: How Two Universes Can Dance Forever. One of the biggest questions you might have about this whole neighbor universe idea is a simple one. If there's another giant universe right next to ours, and its gravity is pulling on us, why haven't we already crashed into it? Why hasn't it just swallowed us whole over the billions of years we've been around? The paper offers an answer that is so beautiful and elegant, it sounds less like physics and more like a cosmic ballet. The theory is that our universes aren't just sitting there next to each other. They are actively spinning around each other in a perfectly balanced, eternal dance. To understand this, imagine two professional ice skaters on a vast, dark rink. They join hands and begin to spin. As they spin, two different forces are at play. First, there's the inward pull of their own grip. Their hands are clasped tight, constantly pulling them towards each other. This is exactly like the force of gravity between our universe and the neighbor universe. But at the same time, there's a second, outward force. You know this feeling from the playground. When you're on a fast-spinning merry-go-round, you feel a powerful push trying to fling you to the outside. That outward push is created by the spin itself. Eugene O'Case suggests that our two universes are like those ice skaters at a very special, magical speed. They are spinning around a common center point at the exact perfect velocity, where the outward push from the spin almost perfectly cancels out the inward pull of gravity. The two forces are in a state of exquisite balance. The pull says, "Come closer," while the push from the spin says, "Stay away." And the result is that they are locked in a stable, perfect orbit, never getting closer and never flying apart. They are bound together, partners in a cosmic dance that has been going on for billions of years. Part 6. A New Reality. And there you have it. One simple, powerful idea that connects a giant mystery in deep space with a baffling mystery right here at home. The idea that our universe has a neighbor, a twin, living just next door. Its gravity pulls on our galaxies, creating the cosmic river. And its inhabitants might be projecting holograms into our sky, which we see as UFOs. This is, of course, a theory. It's an idea. It needs more research. But it's a compelling theory that offers a single explanation for two of the biggest puzzles we have ever faced. It's a scientific story that makes the idea of a parallel universe feel less like a fantasy and more like a real, observable possibility. It changes everything. It suggests that the answer to "Are we alone?" isn't just about other planets in our own universe, but about entire other universes right next to us. It paints a picture of reality that is bigger, more crowded, and infinitely more mysterious than we ever knew. You've been exploring a brand new reality with us here at Summary Thought. If this story blew your mind and made you look at the world a little differently, then help us share that feeling of wonder. The best stories are the ones we share. Tell a friend about the neighbor universe. Light up our little corner of the cosmos by hitting that like button. And to make sure you never miss another journey into the incredible, subscribe and become part of our community of thinkers. Until next time, be kind. You never know who or what might be living right next door.